Hello and welcome back to Joe and Tell. It's another episode of Date Night, and I've got my lovely date here with me out on the deck. And
all decked out.
That's right, always. And tonight I thought, it's officially fall, and October is like going to be here in a few days. So it got me thinking about the holidays, and I wanted to ask you about holidays and what your favorite holidays are.
Well, Joe, now that you've asked, let me answer your question. My favorite holiday. Well,
I'm sorry. Hang on.
Okay.
I'll interrupt you. So just to preface, like,
is that poop on my toenail?
I don't think so.
I don't know what that is. It might be chocolate.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Anyway.
Plus, that man looks like he's peeing, but he's just watering his grass.
It does look
Okay,
like that.
I'm done with all the distractions.
Okay, so like I was saying, to preface, we are embarking on my favorite time of year, not only because of reasons already mentioned, but also that we are leading it up to Christmas, which is probably one of my favorite holidays. And just the whole, from like the first day of fall all the way through until New Year's Day, really, I just enjoy it.
I would even go further because I really like that break between the rush of Christmas and going back to school. So like the week after New Year's.
I think I say you really like Martin Luther King.
I
Jr.
love
Day.
Martin Luther King Jr. Day.
Isn't that like
it's right up there with President's
January
Day.
17th or something like
I have
that?
no idea. I should know because I'm a teacher and I typically get all the... Whoa!
Yeah.
It was like fireworks. I hope that we can replay that and it looks half as spectacular as it did in my peripheral vision. You know, I don't remember you ever smoking cigars while we were doing this in the past.
I didn't. Maybe once. Anyway, favorite holidays?
You know, when we were dating...
No, that's not what we're talking about.
Oh. When we were dating, my favorite holidays were much different. No, I'm kidding. We went back for a reason. What were you saying a second ago? Why did we backtrack? Can't remember.
Just to preface that my favorite time of year, because of favorite holidays and all of that,
That
are,
initial puff.
I'm sorry, are happening. They're coming up.
Oh, that's what it was.
I
yeah.
wanted to know what your favorite holidays were. And
I agree that like the onslaught. So between, yeah, I think this is what you said too. But like from official fall season through the end of the year up until we go back from break is like stellar. Okay. And I mean, you could probably, if this was a newlywed game, you'd be able to answer this on my behalf. But if I counted to 3 and said my favorite holiday, you already know what it is. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
St. Patrick's Day.
I knew you were going to do something when you hesitated because you were trying to think of like something witty that I can say, and I knew you were going to not play along. It's Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving, yeah.
Anyway, and here's I have gratitude and understanding for the Christmas holiday.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly, if you are a Christian person, you celebrate it because it's Christ's birth. However, because we live in the world we live in now, and it is completely materialized, it has really poo-pooed my idea of Christmas in a lot of ways. Therefore, it's not the food aspect of Thanksgiving that it really makes me appreciate it. It's because I mean that's fine too, except that like I think I have gluten intolerance and like so all that food doesn't really help my body. But
that is the one day in the entire year I make a pecan pie, and I can make a mean pecan pie, we've discovered.
Yeah, because I've tried pecan pie and mine are awful. It's like soup.
Yeah, the flavor was good. It just was like
it's like pecan pie soup.
It was.
And it never gelatinizes.
Yes. It was,
is that a word? I don't know if I like that word.
Pecan pie soup. That's the great way to describe it.
It just was like a pool of butter and brown sugar and pecans, which is like nobody's complaining, but like you want the congealed pie effect. Anyway.
I'm trying to keep the smoke away from you, sorry.
It doesn't bother me. And what I was going to allude to earlier is when we were dating, you smoked cigars on most of our first dates, and it wasn't a deal breaker. So I knew what I was getting into. It's just when you're right here and then like you go, what? And then it's like, cold.
I give you LASIK with a cigar smoke.
Yeah, like that's a little crazy. Okay, so the Thanksgiving food is great and fine and whatever, but the reason I really like it is because it's got all the feels. Look, I wanted to be on Broadway, so you're starting that day with the Macy's Day Parade, and hello, every
Yeah.
Broadway number.
That is true.
For the first 45 minutes, I am really into it, but then I stopped kind of watching it. But
I kind of remember watching it growing up as a kid a little bit.
Yeah.
But ever since we've been married, every Thanksgiving, the Macy's Day Parade is on.
Oh.
As soon as it starts, before it starts, it's on
Without
TV.
fail.
Yep.
because we always had it on too. But and that's why, because I love the shows. And you're just kind of hanging out. It's that leisurely kitchen cooking day, and that's the kind of cooking I like. I don't like maintenance cooking where it's like come home from work and blah blah blah.
Well, and there's none of that like what is it, the word pretense or whatever, where you're like everybody's got presents on the mind or giving gifts or getting gifts.
That's really the part of Christmas I
Yeah.
do not like anymore. I do not like the greed that comes with it, the pressure, we got to get so-and-so a gift. They bought us a gift. Is that gift more expensive than the one I bought? Can I make something homemade, which I love to do? Are they going to find that super cheesy? I mean, come on, though. You and I had very different upbringings when it came to, like, Christmas gifts and stuff, too. So that was, like, a lot of pressure. You were like, give me the list. I'll go buy all the things on it. That's what you get. Where we were, like, very deep thoughts and intellectual feelings. And
Yeah. You guys put a lot of thought into yours, and we put a lot of
things to paper.
Not thought.
Pen to paper.
Not thought in ours.
Give me the stuff.
You want slippers? I'll get you slippers.
Yeah, it just took a lot of understanding our needs for those things. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of material.
Right. So
I don't like it.
So you're saying that Thanksgiving, which I knew, is your number one. What would be your number two?
You said duty. Probably Rosh Hashanah. I don't even know what that is. It's on the calendar, but I'm sorry for those of you that celebrate that. I have no idea. Just
The disrespect
I
is
know.
palpable. What's the word?
Palpable.
Palpable.
Well, what's your favorite one?
Christmas is
say.
probably my favorite holiday.
Allude to more. Why?
It just felt like a magical time.
See, that's the part I don't want to like,
Well, I mean,
because it is.
and if it was a white Christmas, oh my gosh, there's nothing better.
Yeah.
And especially if it was like, it had snowed and it was like literally a white Christmas that night. Like Christmas Eve, it starts snowing. And you wake up and there's like a foot or 2 feet of snow on the ground. That's just like, there's nothing better. It's like storybook.
Right.
For me. And we also had a lot of, in my family, we did a lot of like, one time a year food items. So we had a Christmas Eve was like little tiny finger sandwiches that my dad would make. What's so funny?
I don't know. I was expecting something so much like more, I don't know.
No, but it would always be like,
It's like
with
those little sandwiches.
no, but it was
fit
like
in your finger.
special bread, like special kinds of bread, special kinds of
You
meat,
always
like,
had that dip bread. You always took a rye bowl.
Yep, that was.
Was
a
that
favorite.
Christmas or was that?
That was
something
Christmas
else?
Eve, I think.
Okay.
And then Christmas morning, after presents and all that.
And which we have maintained this tradition.
Yeah, my dad would make crepes every Christmas morning, and that was a highlight. And then for Christmas night, we would have Christmas dinner, and that would be my grandma would make chicken and noodles from scratch, and the noodles she made from scratch, and they were like almost the consistency of dumplings, right? They were.
It basically is like a chicken and dumpling.
Oh my
recipe,
gosh!
Which I have been the one to make it
Mhm.
multiple years.
You've been passed
Maybe
down
2
that.
or 3.
Much like I got the chili recipe, you got the.
Yeah, but this is like the real deal. Like
It
I
is,
have
it is.
grandma's chicken noodle pot.
Yep.
And the mashed potato.
Oh yeah, you even got the
dish.
pot that she cooked.
I mean,
in.
your mom like brought me all the things, and that pot is cool.
Yeah,
like, it's
my
like
mom was like, "I'm done. See ya.
Yeah,
Here you go."
she's like, it's on you. And it's just because it's a process, but I really love that kind of thing. I always try to mimic things that are traditional from the Hungarian piece, which is my family side. And same. So we always did stuffed cabbage, or cabbage rolls.
Yep, pigs in the blanket.
Nope, that is pancakes and sausage.
So stuffed
That
cabbage,
drives me
which
crazy because
it's
it just
like
can't be possible.
it's what is it? It's rice and meat and other veggies.
It's a cabbage roll,
you
which
wrap
is
it
like
in a cabbage
European.
leaf, and then you boil it typically in tomato sauce, right?
No, we bake it.
Okay, well,
I mean, traditionally, I think you do, but
that's
like you
how we
boil the
had it.
cabbage, it gets soft, then you roll it, then
and
you bake it.
my mom called it pigs in a blanket, and I hated it as a kid.
And I hate it that she calls it that. I love you, Nani. That is no. Pigs in a blanket is a pancake around a sausage. End of story.
I agree.
I don't even like to talk about it.
Okay, sorry.
Just kidding. It's not that bad.
Clearly.
So we would always do that. We always did certain cookies. So we always made kiflis. We always did
you still do
thumbprints.
that,
So they're
yeah.
Hungarian cookies, which like I also have all the Hungarian cookbooks that were my grandmother's. So I really got hooked up with like traditional
didn't
stuff.
she,
I
like-
don't know why that
Didn't
is.
she like scribble out parts of the recipe so nobody else could duplicate
No,
them?
she
or
never
something?
scribbled it out.
Oh.
She just like,
Didn't tell you.
yeah, it was like process of elimination. It was like omitting certain ingredients.
There's
and
no
then years
sugar in
later,
this cookie. Are
Yeah.
you sure you gave me all these?
Well, it was something one time I was trying to figure out how to make no kedlies, which are like little dumplings. And there was something for the longest time that I would have them at her house, and it was so different of an experience. Then she was like, oh, yeah, I put such and such in here, but I didn't write that in there. And then it was like, I'm on to you.
It made all the difference.
Sneaking in those ingredients that you don't want other people to replicate your recipe, really.
Yeah, your grandma was notorious about that.
She's a sneaky lady. Second, I mean, maybe that's where like Christmas, it's so hard because I really want to love Christmas more.
It's fine if you don't.
I know. There's so many aspects of it I love. It's so magical, and I love twinkly lights anyway. Give me those year round.
I mean, you can either choose to like the holiday that represents the birth of your savior, or the Indians and Pilgrims having a dinner.
I'm all for the dinner. There was a cornucopia involved, and those are pretty cool too. So
the choice is yours, really.
I'm trying to think of all the holidays. Like, what do we have? We have like
New Year's
St. Patrick's
Day. Let's
Day.
start at the very beginning.
All right.
New Year's Day.
New Year's Eve is fun. Like, we've always had fun.
Yeah.
So we've started our own tradition.
You're asking about all the holidays, and
Yeah.
we got into one, and
And
we
then I was
backtracked.
reminded how much I like it.
We might lose sunlight here.
Okay. Sorry. New Year's Day.
Mm-hmm. Valentine's Day, which a lot of people hate.
I don't hate it.
St. Patrick's Day.
It's all right. St. Patrick's Day.
April
Easter.
Fool's Day.
April Fool's Day.
Mother's Day.
Ish,
Father's
yeah.
Day.
Oh, yeah.
4th of July. Memorial Day. Labor Day.
Labor Day. That's a big one. All right. And then what? We're on to Halloween and such.
Yes, Halloween.
Oh, man. Okay. Now I'm really going to like come across as a pagan. But I do love Halloween. Halloween is fun. I just enjoy dressing up so much. So
That goes back to you wanting to be on Broadway.
Right.
Yeah.
I like being in costume and character.
So in fact, we had a parade. Our town had a parade, homecoming parade, not too long ago.
Our town. It's like we live in a little small town.
And
We kind of do, I guess.
there was a theme to this parade, and so she dressed up as in the theme. And then we just went and saw the parade with the kids, and so many of the people that she knew were like, "Oh, hey, are you in the parade?" She's like, "No, why?"
But then I would be intermittently if I wanted to be. That was the beauty of it.
She's like,
Is when you dress up and you are on the outside, you
Like,
can
you
get
painted
in the parade at any point.
You painted a third eye on your forehead.
Well, it was
Yeah.
a theme. It was fun. And
So-
then
So Halloween, you like dressing up.
I do. And I don't usually just dress up once. I try to exhaust all opportunities.
That's true.
To wear costumes. So like if there's a trunk or treat, I'll do one thing and then I'll dress up for something else on Halloween. If there's another trunk or treat, then I'm a third costume in. Like I'll take it all the way. I'll try to get in as many costume changes in one weekend as I possibly can, and I love it.
Well, at one time even when we stayed on vacation with your family, we rented maybe we shouldn't say that, because we rented a house, and in the
Not sure where you're
closet,
going with that.
were these dresses, like these old like Victorian gowns. So
Oh
her
yeah, they were like old.
Victorian dresses or something.
Yeah, like old costumes. Like one was like an old.
So
I don't
her
know,
and
but it was
her
fun.
her aunt, who are very close, decided to get it in their heads to not all of our family had shown up yet, and the house that we rented was kind of creepy. It looked like it could have been haunted.
Yeah, it was great.
But so her and her aunt were like, let's put on these gowns and then we'll just stand in the
'Cause
closet.
why wouldn't you?
We'll just stand in the closet until they come and open the door.
I'm not gonna lie. I have thought more than once about putting on my wedding dress just because I see it in the closet sometimes, and then what would it be like if I went to school in that? I'm not opposed to it.
I don't
Like
think-
that. That's the kind of thing I think about.
Okay.
Nobody would probably think twice.
So you
that
like to
she
dress?
is a complete weirdo.
Yeah. I don't think anybody would bat an eye. So you. So are you saying that Halloween is where at? Second?
I mean, that's high up there because of the dress up factor.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to like go scare people. You, on the other hand, that I'm surprised it's not your favorite. You love horror movies. I mean, I don't know that we've watched any film that's not
Okay. So
gory horror for like the past 3 years.
side note here, I was a kid. I was terrified. You're shaking the table. As a kid, I was terrified of all of these movies because of my brother. My brother would go and see all of the Friday the 13th movies, and he would terrify me with them, and I was scared to death. I didn't want to see any scary movies. I didn't want anything to do with them. I wouldn't even look at the covers of the movies at the video store when those were a thing. So as an adult,
You are making up for lost time.
yes. And I kind of want to I was like, I'm facing my fears and they're so bad. It's like all of those movies are just so terrible. Some of them are so terrible, they're funny.
I like
But-
good, like suspense thrillers. It's okay if it's kind of like got blood in it or whatever, but like I don't like. I'm not a big fan of the gore. Or I don't even know
Yeah.
Friday the 13th kind of things. I'm not. Nah.
Yeah.
I don't like it so much. So campy, and you already
Right.
know like the first person they show is usually one that dies
Yeah,
first. And
right.
blah, blah, blah.
No, so anyway, no, I
Sorry,
do
wrap it
like
up.
Halloween. It's not my the only reason it would be my favorite holiday is because of what it's pronouncing the coming of, which is Thanksgiving. No,
The Grim Reaper.
candy. No, it's Thanksgiving's coming, Christmas is coming,
Oh.
cooler weather.
It is a kickoff. Like
football,
once
all of
Halloween
that, yeah.
hits, it's like, here we go, full motion. And that's when I really like to get out all the decorations. Although, you know what I've noticed the past couple of years?
Hmm.
Maybe you haven't caught wind, but I have been like pulling out the decorations earlier. But like with the knowledge of, oh man, it's so like fun and I love the way it feels. And so I get everything out early and then I'll put it up. But then by the time the holiday arrives,
is
I'm
that-
done with it.
Is that why we have Valentine's Day decorations up right now? Going really early.
That's just called love.
Oh, I see.
When I tell you I love you, that's not a Valentine's Day thing. That's just when you love somebody.
I thought that was like you were prepping for Valentine's Day.
No, that's just what people do when they're married and acknowledge each other. Yeah. I don't think I'm going to do it quite as early anymore
Yeah.
because I've fooled myself. I thought I would enjoy having some things up longer, and I don't. I get tired of
Okay.
them. But I really go all the way with like Christmas decorations and all that, so maybe that's part of it.
Well, and it's funny too. You say that when it's finished, like house is flipped. So, for instance,
Yeah.
When it is New Year's Eve, like tree comes down.
Oh yeah, I'm done.
And like decorations put away. So we actually became a tradition where once the tree is down, we will typically have a bonfire New Year's Eve night, and we'll burn the Christmas tree. Kind
Yeah,
of
'cause New
signify.
Year's Day, I'm like, this is all out of here.
Yeah, it's
Like,
kind of
it's
like
a
to
fresh,
signify
clean start.
a brand new year, brand new everything.
Yeah.
So out with the old, in with the new.
And that's been a fun tradition. I have really quite enjoyed New Year's Eve for a while now
Yeah.
as our family unit.
As we fall asleep on the couch at like 10 o'clock and then wake up
Yeah.
10 minutes or 10 seconds before the ball drops.
It might be the fact that we have chosen So it does include some of my favorite things, which are finger foods. Back to those finger
Yeah,
sandwiches.
you made fun of me for those.
No, I do. I love snacky dinner. That's like one of my favorite things.
Snacky dinner.
It's like, you know, where you just like have a variety of stuff and you
Sure.
get little bits. I love that. You know, drinks.
Yep.
Is nice.
Yep.
Our daughter and I started the tradition of doing karaoke, which you love that.
Yeah, sure I do.
However, we really love it.
I can't sing. That's the problem.
But we'll try to make you get involved. Our son is pretty good at it. And then the burning of the tree, like a bonfire. So like all those things are pretty fun.
So
pretty fun things.
We are we're losing daylight, so we need to wrap it up. But I want to reevaluate here. So Christmas.
You never said your second.
I mean, Christmas is first, so Halloween would be second, just because it
Fair enough.
marches in all the stuff.
You like corned beef.
I do like corned beef. St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
I like Guinness too.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
So, but I mean, still, Halloween
Okay.
second. And so for you, Thanksgiving is number one,
Gosh,
and
and
Christmas is number two.
Probably.
Okay, that's all right. And then for
And
me,
then the dressing up of Halloween. Can I just tuck that in there, like the bologna in the sandwich or something?
garlic bologna.
This ain't no pumpkin spice latte, baby.
Okay.
This was good. It causes me to reflect on myself as a person and my choices, my life choices. What am I doing and what do I really like? What are my holiday loves?
I'm one of them, right?
You're my everyday loves.
Oh.
Every day
just-
is a Valentine's
Not just
Day.
Valentine's Day. All right. Well, we thank you so much for stopping by and hanging out with us. We hope you enjoyed this date night as much as we did. Thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe.
And we'll see you on the next video.
That's right.